Thank you, Madam Chairman. And also Ranking Member Schwiebert and members of the committee, on behalf of NCGA, National Corn Growers, I certainly appreciate this opportunity to share with you what our priorities are for the 07 Farm Bill and a potential impact on family-owned farms and also rural businesses. As the Chairwoman just said, my name is Mark Schwiebert. I am from Northwest Ohio, and I am a partner in a diversified cash grain operation. She also said the National Corn Growers Association does have about 32,000 dues-paying members across the U.S., and over 300,000 members contribute to corn checkoff programs across the United States likewise. Over the past 10 years, we've had some relatively stable production, particularly from corn. That's been made possible by innovations in production practices and also technological advances. And that's helped ensure really ample supplies for feed for livestock, certainly for the expanding ethanol industry, new bio-based products, plastics and others, and a host of other uses in the corn industry. Moreover, investments made by American taxpayers in our nation's agriculture programs have helped produce a more stable financial environment for production ag and a brighter future for our rural communities. I must emphasize that the farm safety net provided in the current Farm Bill is considered a critical component of most producers' risk management plans. It's important to note that NCGA supported the 2002 Farm Bill for the improvements that it made to our nation's agricultural policy. In short, the 2002 Farm Bill implemented the right policy for that time. Now, looking forward, though, today's farm safety net is simply not designed to meet our producers' long-term risk management needs, given the dynamic changes that are underway in U.S. ag. NCGA has developed a proposal to reform our commodity support programs, changes that would help ensure better protection against volatile commodity prices and significant crop losses. And what's really important is it provides those benefits when farmers truly need it the most. And if we have questions after a while, we can delve into more details on that. Shift gears over to rural development. NCGA also views commodity support programs to be strongly linked to revitalizing our rural communities. We urge Congress to carefully evaluate those programs administered by the USDA and Small Business Administration that are better leveraging farm support dollars that facilitate investments in locally owned enterprises. For many years, USDA rural development funds have been made available for much-needed improvements in public infrastructure. Rural broadband, rural electric co-ops, certainly good examples of those. These investments to enhance the quality of life in rural America, coupled with recent initiatives to bring more jobs to communities, might be better described as rural economic development. Well, our members' experience indicates that direct value-added producer grants and loan guarantees for renewable fuel projects do indeed stimulate economic development, generating a wide range of benefits that have been outlined by some of the other speakers this morning. If we are to continue building a more prosperous economy and a better quality of life for rural communities, NCGA believes the next Farm Bill can serve as an engine of growth for new businesses. Unfortunately, we have seen these cost-effective programs and other important rural development initiatives in the 2002 Farm Bill impacted by reduced funding, in a number of cases, no funding at all. Well, one of the most significant success stories for new value-added businesses and employment opportunities is the ethanol industry. Started in a cottage industry size in 1980, about 175 million gallons, and in 2006 has grown to in excess of 5 billion gallons. And what's really interesting and important about that is with more than 1.8 billion gallons of that production coming from farmer-owned plants. I think that's a very significant point. For the U.S. economy, the ethanol industry in 2005 spent in excess of $5 billion for raw materials, inputs, goods, and services, a lot of those coming from rural areas. That was 1.4 billion bushels of corn in that same year. That's a $2.9 billion value directly into the checkbooks of producers. And according to the Renewable Fuels Association, the remainder of spending by the industry for inputs such as includes chemicals, electricity, natural gas, water, labor, services. And certainly don't want to forget it does contribute tax revenue from those communities as well. Well, we now have the opportunity to advance the growth of domestically produced renewable fuels and bio-based products with forward-looking farm policy. In addition to our proposed reforms of the farm safety net, NCGA supports rural development policies that encourage farmers to move towards ownership in higher value markets and greater profits beyond the farm gate. NCGA's second task force report on grain belt agriculture concluded that, and I quote, rural incomes and farm communities will benefit if national priorities begin to encourage self-reliance and marketplace solutions. Last but not least is conservation and stewardship, and that's a priority for NCGA as well, as agriculture policy promotes the best available practices to further improve the environment. Corn growers are certainly concerned with the health and well-being of American citizens and mindful of the need to balance environmental concerns with the necessity for long-term profitability. We certainly support the use of sound science to set environmental policy and the use of voluntary programs to assist farmers in meeting and achieving those environmental goals. You know, during the last 70 years, there's actually been fewer acres of corn under cultivation than there was 70 plus years ago. But we've had almost an 8 to 10-fold increase in the amount of corn produced during that same time. It's not just about growing more corn, though. It's about how we grow it. And we're making important environmental gains. We're able to reduce soil erosion. We're able to improve water quality and increase wildlife habitat and still produce that size of a crop. Well, we certainly do need to have continuation and a greater emphasis on working lands conservation programs. It allows us to produce and still take good care of that. Madam Chairman, on behalf of NCGA, thank you very much for yours and your committee's interest in this. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to discuss these goals with all of you this morning.
Thank you.